Okay, so this is a basic short episode, but I just want to remind you guys, since the Healing Guides podcast is also trying to help you heal traumas, which obviously means we have to talk about spiritual causes, and morality and stuff, since a lot of the evil humans in this world, um, obviously the spiritual side is that demons came after them and first abused them using human beings and then used that as a way to drag them in different directions. That's not the reason they're evil, obviously. They're evil because they're actually evil. But we have to still talk about just overall what evil does to anyone in this world. Usually you'll come across harassment or abuse or something at some point. Okay, so trauma healing is also part of the podcast. In that, I'm also going to share with you these sort of terminologies that I would like you to research. A lot of you have it, and that's going to help you to see what's wrong with you, and you know what to do. Fix the morality side, that's the spiritual side. Be a moral person, go to God for what you need, and then the sort of personal, physical, sort of non-spiritual side, well, you need to heal. You need to talk about the traumas and the evil and the things that made you become this person, such as usually your parents were abusive, even if it wasn't physical, just neglecting all these other things in the creepy, strange, psychopathic way they might have treated you every now and then, obviously traumatized you as a kid. And now you've also become a toxic and bad person yourself instead of a good person, and that ruins your relationships with others and with God and with yourself and just life overall. You like to surround yourself with bad people instead of good people, etc. You get the point. Your upbringing, you're using that to go down a dark path instead of you being like, well, obviously that was bad and bad is not normal. I should be good, You get the point. And then for the other people who, right, I'm talking to, you're a good person, but you've been traumatized. It's good for you to understand these terminologies in people who you may come across in this earth who have these conditions. Um, Technically, they're really mental illness doesn't exist. It just means people are possessed when they have those problems. And some are just being tortured mentally, and possession doesn't have to cause it, but those are small things then that they just cause anyone, such as even people of God who, could never be possessed, like, maybe prophets. If God allows them, they can do witchcraft and harass their mind, okay. But 90 something percent of the human race or more is possessed by demons, just so you know. And their children are born and they're already possessed, just so you know. So for that reason, demons really have a lot of control, and it's easy for them to recreate the same patterns in this world. The same type of humans always seem to come out, right? And that sort of great number they have, very toxic, shallow, lowly humans, they like to use that to make it seem as if then that's human nature. Now, there's different types of humans, very smart, very intelligent, righteous, wonderful people on this earth. They're just rare. So they just get overshadowed, and you don't know smart people exist, normal people exist, healthy people exist. You don't know. Okay, so for that reason, right, I talk about all these things on my podcast, right? You, the good person, whether technically you got possessed through sin, that doesn't make you a bad person, but it's bad for you. Such as maybe when you were young, you grew up in a world like this that tells you sex before marriage is okay. Okay, you got possessed that way, maybe. Or maybe you did drugs or alcohol here and there and you got like that. People who we wouldn't technically say are evil can get possessed. Um, but usually it's very rare. um, the average human really deep down is a bad person. Very rare that the people are good. They just behave, they do what they're supposed to do. That doesn't mean they're good. So either way, right, people get possessed for many reasons. The majority is they're just bad-hearted, they're evil, they have evil and hatred and envy in their heart, and that's why they got possessed. So you don't really have to do bad behavior first, you just need to be bad-hearted and then they can possess you. Anyways, good people, right, will obviously come across humans who are very torturous to deal with. Basically, you need to know these terminologies because it's going to help you understand what's wrong with these human beings. And demons could send them to you. It doesn't mean you're doing something wrong that's attracting them into your life, right? Attracting something evil into your life. in the sense that, right, you're allowing it. Obviously, no one attracts evil. Evil goes after people. I mean, you're not doing something. Obviously, that's what evil is. It wants to hurt good people, right? It wants to put you into bad relationships and marriages with bad people that you shouldn't be with. Okay, so it's gonna come after you. And you might then see these sort of personality qualities in these human beings who, if you think about it, it's really no different than a mental illness. I was just telling you there's no such thing. It just means people are possessed. And the spiritual side of that is gone. Okay, so the devil can get away with creating medication and taking away your human rights and locking you up and destroying the human race with this mental health industry garbage. Um, okay, so it's so similar to people who are mentally ill, but they're not considered mental illness. You see what I'm trying to say? That's why I brought up that part about mental illness. So you at least know the correct origin of it. Um, People are not crazy. They're just evil people, and their demons just manifest out of them every now and then and make them act strange. And that's what you're seeing. And you think it's schizophrenia or this one or that one. Or no, that's just their demons. Okay. So, anyways, for that reason, they're called fearful avoidant attachment styles, or dismissive avoidant, or anxious avoidant. They're people who are just don't want to have healthy moral relationships with others, usually the romantic. They're just perverts. They're just bad people, but they have a lot of trauma where they were victims at one point, usually in childhood, usually in the family. You get me? So that sort of victim side of them is what their demons like to use to pull you to them. Usually the people who in this world we would call empaths, right? Empathetic people that demons really love to torture by bringing you narcissistic human beings, psychopathic human beings. Because those are demons, you know, who act that way and make a human act narcissistic, etc. There's no such thing as mental illness. You get me? It's just bad people. Their bad qualities and their demons coming out as behavior, and their evil thoughts and all that stuff today is labeled mental personality and whatever disorders. But none of this is mental. None of this is sickness. It's just bad humans, okay? They got away with being evil by calling it a mental illness in many ways. Okay, so you already know that. You already know everyday people are not going to prison and jail for very harmful crimes because they just say they're mentally ill or something. Amazing, right? Oh my God. So, anyways, it's just a way for the devil to prevent, right, things from operating correctly in this life. Okay, so, right, you're going to protect yourself from humans who behave in these attachment styles. Usually, right, they enter your life. Their good qualities is what you'll see. That, right, you just think they're a good person, but then they're very harmful, very manipulative, and they don't want to fix what's wrong with them. They don't want to go to therapy. They don't want to be moral. um, every time you leave them, or every time you, right, hold them accountable for things that humans should be held accountable for, right, like their bad behavior, they basically will do something bad to try to get you to just forget about it. You get me? It's like those people who say they'll kill themselves if you leave them, like that. They're just trying to control you with those types of threats, more psychological, more whatever you want to call it. Okay, if you, right, obviously just research and just, YouTube these terminologies, and you're gonna see, maybe you've come across humans like this. Again, to some degree, they could appear to you as someone who's just damaged and just needs healing and love and compassion, which is what their demons want you to think that they are. Because there are actual people, right, who might just act avoidant, but they're good people. They're not trying to hurt you. They're just, why they're scared of relationships because, okay, abuse, trauma, something happened. Those are the people, if someone actually treats them well and, right, you try to help them, they obviously take the help and they become wonderful. They trust again, etc. Okay, that's just common sense, right? We all know that. But they want to make you think these evil humans who are very similar to narcissistic personality disorder, they want you to think it's that human when it's not. They know what they're doing. They're very harmful. They usually cheat on people that they get into relationships with. And they just have that thing where, just research it. They have so many different personality traits that come out of them, which is just them and their demon working together to hurt people. If obviously they wanted a relationship, then duh, you obviously have a relationship. You see how dumb it is when the devil wants you to think humans have something else making them do something bad, as if evil behavior could come from a normal place? That's mocking God. You do bad behavior because you're a bad person. It's in your head. It's in your heart. Your heart and mind is filled with hatred and envy, and you just want to hurt yourself and others. It's that simple. You're not going to do something bad when you didn't have the intention to do something bad. because you chose the behavior. Okay, the intention has to come first. So there's no such thing as, oh, I hurt you, I didn't mean it. No. You get me? We're not talking about people who are not hurting you, but they're just detached. Well, that's their choice if they want to be detached from people, correct? But these people, they act like they want relationships, but they have these very dangerous, harmful, psychologically torturous qualities and behaviors they choose to do in relationships and before relationships, right? They're very, very dangerous for your mental health, obviously, because many of the times they'll just make it seem as if it's your fault or whatever. Okay, so I was saying, right, if a human actually wanted a relationship, they do what you need to do as a human being to have a relationship. You treat people morally, not the way they want, obviously, because they might want you to do evil to them. Some humans are crazy. You get what I'm saying? You would treat each other good. The correct definition of good, not the one that anyone can use today and tell you something bad is good, right? Okay, so obviously they don't do that. They're not easy to trust, you know, because they're possessed, and their type of demon, right? Because every demon has its own goal and agenda. Their type of demon, its job is to actually prevent them from having marriage and just, you get the point, relationships overall. So that's actually why then they just always operate against romantic relationships, but in other areas of their life, they treat people normally. You get me? Because that's their demon's job. That devil, that demon possessed them, so it can make sure they just fornicate and fool around their whole life, get old just like their parents, probably at some point just pick someone, have kids, and then traumatize those kids the same way their parents traumatized them. It's really generational curse. So protect yourself from these types of human beings. You know, you always need God to guide you, obviously. Ask him for guidance on, right, who your spouse is, and if you're supposed to give people time and pray for them, or if you're supposed to give up on them and move on with your life, because we have very harmful human beings, right, who obviously are pretending to be someone you just need to pray for, and they'll do the, you know, great things one day like that. They obviously want to trick you into that nonsense. So I obviously have personally seen humans who have these types of attachment styles. So that's where my knowledge comes in. But researching it helped me understand. And now that I understand the sort of psychology part of it, right, what's wrong with them, now I can connect it to the spiritual side, how their demons are using them. And they allow the demons to use them. They're human. They have free will. They can do good if they want to do good. They can be good if they want to be good. No one can prevent you from being a good person. That's your choice. So it's their fault, and they're going to go to hell for all the times they've hurt people. They need to repent, obviously. If you research this and you see you're one of these people, okay, you know what to do. It's just like any other immorality. You need to repent, seek forgiveness from God and people. Stop your immorality. Stop all the evil you're doing. Ask God to get the demons out of your body, all the witchcraft and other powers that are in your body. Deliver you from generational and bloodline curses in your family and whatever other traumas and problems you have. You ask God to save you from everything spiritually that has made you into this person, but obviously it was your choice. So there you go. You get me? You need help against these demons, yes, but the choice is within you. You can still be a good person even if you're still possessed goodness. And there you go. You do the work. You know, you heal yourself. You go through, you know, the therapies and understand what's wrong with you and all the evil you did, because it's still a psychology. You know, it's still a psychology. You still want to understand how it entered your system, right? All the traumas, all the weird things demons used against you, whatever. You get the point. And then now you become a good person. Choose to be a good person. Choose to go against fornicating and selling your body and fooling around. Leave drugs and alcohol and all this nonsense. You know, research religion and ask God to guide you to who he is, his correct religion, the correct parts and the parts that are not correct, you know, that are corrupted, because God is one. Throughout human history, he sent many scriptures. The most recent that's here right now is the Bible. After that is the Quran. They're both corrupted. Both groups will not admit it, but the other one will. Okay, so they're fighting for that reason. But these two books are still God's books. You just need to take their good, leave their bad. That's it. That's what you need to do until the next set of spiritual, which are going to be supernatural leaders, are sent by God again. Whether that's Jesus or other people, that's up to God to decide. But until that time happens again, okay, and that's it. You know, you ask God to guide you on these concepts. Obviously, you know right from wrong because you have a conscience. God built that into you, and you have a gut. It knows right from wrong. So religion and all that stuff doesn't have to tell you right from wrong. Otherwise, you're saying good and evil look the same to you. No, they don't. You just need certain things in life. You just need to be guided. Just little things that don't really matter. on what God's perspective is. But when it comes to just if something you're told to do is evil or bad, that, you know, you know. So God has given you what He needs to give you in order for you to not sin accidentally, obviously, uh, because you know right from wrong. Um, Ask God to get hatred and envy out of your heart. That's what creates an evil heart or mind, and then therefore evil character, whether it's a human or spirit that becomes a demonic. That's it. It's just those two emotions, envy and hatred. And then you become a bad person of other qualities entering you, perverted, sexist, mean, bully, gossip, narcissistic, all that stuff then comes in. Okay, you go against those emotions. You choose love in your heart and being a just person, right? You don't act entitled or weird as if you get the point. You know what an evil person is. You know what type of qualities they have in their heart, because I'm talking to you. You know what the hell's wrong with your head and your heart. You're all possessed, but you like to lie. If I was to ask these people who are possessed right now, are you possessed? They're gonna say no. So that's another quality you need to right, obviously say no to. Being a humble person, saying the truth, speaking the truth is required. You need to come against your demons. You need to say no and tell people obviously you're possessed and you need help. But there's obviously no church or anyone right now that God would give permission to get demons out of you, because there's too much corruption in religion, and even just someone God would just allow to just command it to leave, and God, right, it obeys God obviously when they leave your body. There really isn't people like that technically here. Especially since churches and mosques are overtaken by the hypocrites right now, who perpetuate the belief that the religion, the way it is perfect, which is not. Okay, so they're the most evil humans in the world who are in your churches and mosques. So why are you wasting your time with that? That's when things are good. That's when prophets are here, messengers are here, great leaders of God are here. Okay, but right now you don't need to do that, because evil humans will always take these important places, because demons are there and they're invisible and they're working against you every day. Guess what the solution always is, whether people of God that He personally chose are here, like your prophets, like Jesus, or not. God Himself is the solution, because even if they were here, whatever they do to help you is either way God making that happen for you. They're just asking God to do it. Okay, so ask God to get the demons out of you. You get me? Wake up 2 a.m. at night. There's demons manifesting around me right now, making people talk and make a lot of noise. So just ignore whatever noise is behind me. Those are not people. That's their demons trying to irritate me. And it's a waste of my time to constantly command it to leave, because it's going to keep coming back to them. So I'm just going to keep recording this. Yeah, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m., that's the perfect time to pray to God and ask Him to get demons out of you, witchcraft and other powers, keyword other powers. Witchcraft is just an example. That's the main one they use, so that's why I mentioned it, right? Deliver you, basically, help you, free you, and help you become the moral person you need to be. Help you to know how you can compensate people, right, that you've done evil to, that you've done wrong to, because, yep, you need to seek their forgiveness. Obviously, some you will not be able to see them. Some maybe it's not even healthy, right, for you to maybe see, because maybe, right, the situation doesn't really fit. Maybe they don't want to see you, things like that. Obviously, use common sense. You obviously just seek forgiveness. You don't have to make a meeting with it. That's obviously you being annoying and immoral. Just do the good deed of simply seeking forgiveness. That's it. And then that's it. You're done. It's up to them to forgive you. So there's no compulsion or force to forgive other people. That's the part of the Bible that's corrupted, because that's taking away your human free right to forgive who you want to forgive. That's up to you. So, okay, God does not force you to forgive and accept all these creepy, weird sinners in this earth, like rapists and all that filth. Anyways, you get me? You leave that, obviously, the way it's supposed to be. It's none of your business. You just do the work. You seek forgiveness. You repent. And obviously respect people as you go about trying to do that, because obviously you've heard them, okay? And just connect with God and ask Him by prayer, by talking to Him, dialogue, normal conversation. Ask Him to guide you what to do next. See, that's the thing about what religion is doing to your mind since demons took it over. They made religion your God. So if religion doesn't have the answer, or it doesn't obviously conversate with you when you don't know what to do in a situation, they want you to think then you're doomed. But God is the one that created His religion, right? It's just His laws, basically. God is always alive. Do you agree? Okay, so you don't need His religion to be perfect and for His prophets to be here to guide. You don't need anything. You need just God to be alive and not dead. Okay, and he's not dead. You can therefore always conversate with him and talk to him and ask him for guidance. It takes time sometimes. He has to, give you wisdom and, right? Take your time. Demons can create dreams using witchcraft, and they can also possess, obviously, evil humans that come to you. They possess everybody, obviously, and they can pretend to be that answer from God. Okay, so be careful with you praying and then whatever happens afterwards. Always ask God if it's from him or the devil, and you'll know. I told you, you all have a gut. When something is bad, you'll feel uncomfortable. Okay, you'll know when humans have evil intention towards you, no matter how covert they behave. Such as, this witchcraft that they have, gang stalking people as demons. They just possess many people at one given environment or situation. They're not even doing things that you would say is criminal. They just sit there. They just watch and listen to the person. They just bother the person. They just walk by. But see, God still allows you to feel uncomfortable and know something's fishy about that. So we all have a gut. So be careful. Be careful, right? If you pray to God, of what happens afterwards is obviously not always from God, because demons will retaliate and pretend to be, right, some sort of answer from God, whether they use dreams, whether they use humans talking to you, people giving you money or something like that. No, be smart. Use your gut, use your conscience. Whatever doesn't feel comfortable, just move away. And I guarantee you, among the first things that happen will be them and not God's answer, because God takes time to help you, because you don't have the answer. You don't have the knowledge. You know what I mean? You're not asking if you just want to go left or right. You're asking him if something, what his perspective is. Okay, so you need knowledge. You need wisdom. You don't have it. He has to educate you. He has to, you know what I'm saying? And some things he just tells you, no, yes. You know what I mean? So take time when you ask God for anything. Guidance, redemption, forgiveness. Take time. Stop being fast. Because that's how demons take advantage of it and pretend to be that answer from God. They quickly bring something and act like it's from your Lord answering you. His religion is corrupted. So what the hell? You're not going to get the answer right away that easily. So take time, okay? Okay, and take care of yourselves. And if you're these people, you know what to do. You know how to repent and stop what you're doing. Be a good person. No demon can make you anything. That's your choice. What voices and nonsense you listen to in your head. Stop obeying those voices in your head. Those are your demons talking to you. Obviously, you're going to go to hell for everything you obeyed. Repent and choose morality. Not because you're going to go to hell, but because that's right. Because that's normal. And you have chosen a disgusting path that you don't obviously like yourself. You're just crazy. You lost your mind, okay? You're in darkness. So it's your choice. You don't want to change? Well, there's hellfire for you. But for people, right, who have come across these types of humans with these weird sort of attachment styles, the way they treat you in a romantic situation, it obviously affects the other relationships. They're very harmful. So just be careful. Pray for people, right? But help them, but move on. And you're not waiting for anyone to become as a woman, right, the man you need to marry. You're not, as a man, waiting for a woman to be the woman you need to marry. They already need to be that person. Some people who become bad or toxic or damaged are obviously supposed to marry somebody in this life, correct? Okay, and that person, when they prayed for a marriage, it's possible, right, that God obviously in many cases shows them who that person is, and they're in a bad place. It's not someone you would want to marry. Okay, so praying for them obviously helps them, right? It helps them to come out of that, and they have to do the work, obviously. That doesn't mean God changes them. No, prayer just means God is tugging at them in different ways. He already does that in his own natural way as a creator, right? He already calls them. They just don't like to listen to him. They obey their demons, but okay, you get me? The prayer just means more tug, more chances, just more, whatever you think it would obviously mean. Okay, if they keep saying no to God every time, well, that's it. That prayer does not have the power to change them, because that's taking away their free will, right, to be evil or good. They have free will. So God is going to give you someone else as a spouse. It's that simple. But I'm telling you, this is very risky, because they're similar to narcissistic personality disorder. They're very obsessed with the person. You know what I mean? Their demons are obsessed with you because it's a witchcraft. Demons are like us, or obviously their creation. They obviously would give up. It's just that there's powers like witchcraft making them obsessed with one person for years and years. They keep sending you this person who's not healthy for you. And every time you want to give them up, they'll do witchcraft to you, projecting all these emotions to you that you desire them and you want them again. That's witchcraft. That makes humans obsessed with someone that romantically we would all say is not healthy for them. It's not moral for them. Maybe they're not even attracted to them like that. Demons are trying to force that person on you because they're like narcissists. You know what I mean? They're just like a different type of them. Narcissists are more evil, obviously, in that sense, but some are obviously also narcissists, and they also have these attachment styles. It depends. You get me? And okay, those demons don't want you to get married. They don't want you to have a healthy romantic relationship that God would want you to have. So they keep sending you people who are damaged like that, who want to hurt others. So every time you're moving away from them, they'll make it seem as if God is the one tugging you back to them. Hell no. Hell no. So you have to pray. People who are possessed around this environment I'm in right now, their demons keep manifesting. So it's really hard for me to focus right now, but I'm still doing my best to keep recording. That's why it went longer than I wanted, because I was trying to, not let them make me stop recording, because they keep putting evil thoughts into my head, because they keep staring and do all that stuff, making noises. Yeah. Okay, so take care of yourselves and don't pick these people as romantic partners. You just wait. If that means you just never met the person that's healthy for you in this life and you just died, well, that's okay. This life literally was not created for us to have fun. There's too much evil and darkness here. We're supposed to do our best to get rid of it, right? So we could enjoy our life. But in certain areas and situations of that life, darkness will attack it. Maybe you didn't get married when you wanted to. And obviously that's the sad thing about human beings. They want you to think they're better than you if they got married or something, like they had a blessing. But 80-something% of them, their spouses cheat on them, okay? So no, darkness came after them too. If the average human is evil, 80-something% of the human race is evil and they're going to go to hell, they're all cheating on their spouses, okay? So it's better that you don't get yourself into that situation and have all the evil come upon you, and you wait for God to guide you, than you just thinking, well, I'll just pick a good person, I'm fine. Well, you don't know what the hell you're doing. So these are not things you're supposed to pick yourself. You need God to guide you on relationships, because exactly, you're a human. You don't know others' intentions. You don't know what demons and curses are put out. You don't know what is with that person. Only God knows it. Okay, so you need him to guide you on who to have as friends and spouse. And obviously evil families, you're supposed to disown them and cut them off. Obviously pray for people that they repent and change, but that's it. Abuse is not something God allows you to mix with. He doesn't tell you to be with evil people or abusive people or anybody, no matter who they are, because God doesn't like evil. That would be unjust and abusing you. So that's the parts of religion that's always corrupted, like my religion, Islam, in the Bible, obviously. That's their goal, get it? Corruption means the devil possessed evil, the worst you can come up with, the worst of God's creation, the most evil human beings, usually male, and they possess them, get it? The devils had permission from God. A human cannot touch God's scriptures. They were given power, and they just possess these dumb, empty shells. And then they touch these books, these scriptures of God, all throughout human history. Guess what they always like to put into God's books when they corrupt it? Perversions and sexisms first. That's always it. That's always what the devil likes. He's a pervert first. And then the other things, the other evil qualities will come in. So that's why religion is always trying to take away your human rights. Usually in relationships or your body or what you should do with it, like abortion, because that's where the devil corrupted it. It's always going to first focus on your sort of body, your right that no one can touch your body, obviously. So it's always going to perpetuate this nonsense of perversion. It's always going to say it's okay. It's always going to say God does it. Oh, you're going to you get the point. God is not evil. He just created it. So anytime evil is being promoted, his books are corrupted. It's that simple. But inshallah, whether it's Jesus or someone else, obviously his leaders are coming again. And this nonsense is going to stop. You just might die before their time. But you know what to do. God is your creator, not, these human beings that he has sent in human history to help you or guide you. You connect with him. You pray to him on a regular basis. And I told you, take your time. Because demons can come to you in voices, in thoughts, in false feelings. They make it seem like it's an emotion. Only God creates emotion. So how is it an emotion? It's witchcraft. It's trying to manipulate your body. So God created witchcraft. They have no power. Demons are stupid, weak as hell. They're just using powers like witchcraft. Okay. But no one has power over you. You can always pray and protect yourself. You're good to go. You want to repent? You want to change? Okay, it's open. That door is open until the day you die. Don't give that chance up, because your arrogance you'll like to carry in your heart. But obviously, I was technically talking to good people. Protect yourself from these humans who have these weird attachment styles. I swear to God, the witchcraft will be done to you to portray them as just damaged people, right? Who just need help, who just need some time, who just need some prayer, who just need some therapy, and then they're gonna transform into a great companion for you. No, it's very dangerous, and you need to separate them from those actual people we all should, right, pray for and give them time, because we're human beings. We're supposed to help each other, right? Separate them from these very harmful psychopathic narcissistic humans who have these weird attachment styles. Okay, that's why they cause a lot of emotional pain. You'll cry and feel pain in the heart a lot. You know what I mean? As if someone ripped your heart out, because they're using witchcraft to hurt your heart. You can't be that obsessed with someone, goodness. That's witchcraft anytime you feel like the attachment is too strong. God did not create you to feel that way. You know what I mean? You're independent. You just love people, that's it. But a way where you're about to die or something, or you want to kill yourself, well, that's witchcraft done to you. So you need to pray so that God breaks these powers and demons off of you, so you can be clean again, right? And pick the good spouse when they arrive. It might take some time. I know it's sad. Some of us, we get married when we're really older, but that's okay. You get me? Because it's only weird if this life was paradise. Then it's weird, right? Okay, but if God obviously has already warned you this is not paradise, why are you confused? Why are you letting it affect you that you don't technically have what you think is healthy and good and pure for a human to have? You know, a lot of us will suffer. You know, a lot of us will not have all the blessings that, right, were supposed to come. You get me? So just see it from that perspective, that it's not paradise. You understand. Don't let the really harmful, perverted, crazy, sexist humans who are possessed always be on YouTube and usually in your face, you know, whether they use politics or entertainment. Don't let them affect you, who like to always influence you on life. They always like to make you think you should just do something. You know, oh, you're not married yet? Just go. Just do it. Oh, you didn't have sex yet? You're getting older? Just go do it. They want you to just ruin your life or get into sin. You get me? Because you didn't have something good for you or normal for you earlier in life. No. If something is good, you're supposed to wait for it, right? Okay, if it takes longer, you're still supposed to wait for it. It doesn't mean you go and do it in a wrong way or you do something bad altogether. You get what I'm saying? If you're hungry, you don't steal from people to get it just because you are hungry for so long. No, you ask them politely, right? If they can share it with you. If they don't want to, okay, then you keep looking. You don't cheat. You don't steal at some point because, right, it's taking so long. So morality of other types like marriage is the same. You don't go harming yourself, your life, other people's lives because you want something that technically is normal, right? But you're going to go about it the wrong way. That's not okay. And you're committing sin and you're hurting yourself. And nothing good will come out of it. Just use your mind. You know right from wrong. Be a good person at heart and mind. And okay, you know what to do. Protect yourself from these types of humans. And don't worry about the fact that maybe you don't have that great partner. I just told you. 90-something% of the human race is evil, okay? They're literally vessels for demons. So for that reason, you're probably not going to find someone good to marry. If you're actually a rare person, right? You're very rare. You're actually very moral. You're not going to find them. You can just choose to settle for someone average and deal with the consequences. All the things they could obviously bring to your life first would be that they're probably not going to be faithful. I want you to do what's moral and good for you and honor your body and your life and the future children that could come out. I want you to honor all these important things and not worry about the fact that you don't have something, right? Don't let demons pressure you to go and choose someone that you don't obviously want, that you've obviously seen red flags and God is warning you. Don't think that, right, is something just common sense, that there's just bad qualities in them, but it's not a red flag. You know what I mean? Yeah, connected to God, you know, connected to Him. Then you're going to obey that red flag more, right? Because if you think a higher being is actually guiding you, your creator is being, you get me, is personally trying to guide you, that's a red flag. He showed, because why is He showing you those qualities that human has, that's pursuing you romantically, right, of the opposite gender, that's normal? You get me? God is trying to protect you. He's a creator. He can bring you someone you want, obviously. It's a test. This life is a test. You get me? It's how you're going to deal with that situation when He doesn't give you that blessing that God is using to test you. And that's how He picks who goes to paradise, who goes to hell. And also paradise has levels. So obviously, people are better than each other in character and righteousness, morality. There's nothing else that makes us better than each other than our morality, our heart. And okay, so obviously, God created different levels of paradise that Islam will teach you. And okay, so that's why He puts you through trial, situations where you have to make a decision. That obviously is all about what type of character you have as a person, right? How much integrity you have, how much of you're going to be authentic, how much you're going to do the right thing. Some could do 20%, 30%, 50%. Why would they get the same reward? They're going to get higher levels of paradise based on the higher levels of way they were moral. So you see, it's your choice, okay? You earn what you get. But obviously there are things that you may not know that are very tiny, that are sin. We all obviously could fall into sin. Duh. Just repent, okay? God is very merciful. God is very just. But we're talking about things that make you who you are. You get me? Good or bad person, toxic, shallow, lowly, or really healthy and decent. And okay, that's your choice. You know? Take care of yourselves.